Salamun, Salamun. Today lecture is about the mafia of Nobel Prize, how they betray peace and how they give the Nobel Prize to the warmongers. So in the light of the Quran, we will discuss this Nobel Prize. This year it has been awarded to a CIA agent from Venezuela. So in this eye-opening Qur'anic lecture, we expose the Nobel Peace Prize mafia, a global system that rewards political corruption, war criminals, and agents of the oppression under the false banner of peace. So everything these criminals are doing under the slogan of peace, we are making peace, Abraham Accord, because we are making peace, killing the people for the peace, making the military bases for the peace, controlling the economy of the world for the peace. This is all for peace. But peace is not there. This world has become a hell, economically, justice-wise, social system, especially democracy. So, Alfred Bernard Nobel was a Swedish chemist, inventor, engineer, and businessman. And a man of great intellect who created one of the most powerful yet destructive invention in human history, and that is the dynamite. It is used to blast the mountains. It is used to kill the people. So every invention has two faces. If you use for peace, it is a good. If you use for destruction, it's a hell. Like atomic bomb or uranium metal, if you use for the atomic energy purpose, uranium base, this electricity system, it is a good. But if you use for killing the people, this is dangerous. So he invented this dynamite from the chemical nitroglycerin. Although Alfred Nobel personality despised war, fate struck him with a painful awakening when a premature obituary mistakenly published in a newspaper described him as the merchant of the death. So at that time the newspaper, they were honest people at that time. Paper were good. They were not, covering the dishonesty. They were making honest, reports or news. So he wrote that the merchant of death. Noble is a merchant of death. Those words pierced his conscience, strike his conscience. He realized that his invention intended for progress had become a weapon of destruction. So he has a guilty conscience. What I have done with a good mind, peaceful mind. Hunted by this moral burden, he vowed to reshape his legacy. So this was the reason he changed his thinking that I have done a very dangerous thing. So neutralize that, or to cleanse his conscience and to be remembered not for a destruction but for a peace, he decided to dedicate his immense fortune to the service of humanity in science, literature, and peace. Then he died in 1896. His fortune, now worth billions of Swedish kronor, was entrusted to the Nobel Foundation. So this is how Nobel Foundation came into existence. Established in Sweden, 1919 or 1900, to fulfill the terms of his will. From his will emerged what the world now calls the Nobel Prize. Initially awarded in 5 fields: physics, chemistry, psychology, and medicine. But later on, Nobel Prize Committee added Nobel Peace Prize in peace. So later, this Nobel Peace Prize added in 1968. The Central Bank of Sweden, furthermore, the Central Bank of the Sweden added a 66 categories the prize in economic science in his memory. So these banker, the Wolf, the banker, they came, they added there. And these all political leaders, under the banner of peace, they added this peace prize. So this is how Peace Prize and the Economy Prize was added. It was against the will of the Nobel. Yet, over time, the sacred vision of peace that Nobel hoped to be promote has been corrupted by politics, bias, and hypocrisy. What began as a symbol of moral atonement and global goodwill has turned into a mafia of influence. I'm not discussing chemistry, physics. I'm discussing this, Nobel Prize for Peace. So this is the mafia came over there. Rewarding power and propaganda instead of the truth and justice. Who has the power, he has the influence. Who has the money, he has the influence. According to the teachings of the Quran, true peace, as-salam, mean Islam does not mean 5-time prayer, Hajj, and this and that. As-salam means remove the evil, corruption from the society to bring peace and prosperity. That is Islam. That is Islam. So, according to the teaching of the Quran, Alfred Nobel's action may be viewed as those of sincere peace activists. to lighten the way upon his conscience for having created a highly explosive and destructive substance, he established a foundation in his own name. So this is how, this Nobel Prize came into existence. So, as the Quran declares in 2012, Alfred Nobel's remorse reflected in inner awakening, an effort to balance the scale of justice with his own soul, but the modern inheritors of his foundation have turned that repentance into a tool of deception. The Nobel Peace Prize, instead of honoring true law, peacemaker, often glorify those who perpetuate war, exploitation, and oppression. So this is they have done. And the Quran explains this reality, the Quranic, all the writing or the principle or the codes, they are based on universal fact. Or you can say organic law, natural laws. The Quran exposes such hypocrisy when peace is claimed with the tongue, but war is served by the land. Every political leader, every religious leader, every ruler, they are claiming that we are doing for peace. All these wars, these were started in the name of peace. Even human rights, all the American human rights or NGO groups, they are doing all this peace, but they are funded by CIA. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلُ مِنَ الصَّالِحَاتِ وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَلَا يَخَافُ ظُلْمًا وَهَضْمًا. The Quran says how you can bring the peace. And whoever actively involved in peace and reforming activities, he is a peace activist. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِنَ الصَّالِحَاتِ وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ. He is a peace activist, not believer, and will have no fear of dislocation from the key position or injustice. فَلَا يَخَافُ ظُلْمًا. He has no fear that I will dislocate my position. No, he is strict in his peace program. And now you can see the zulm. Zulm means if you dislocate anything from its proper position, from its balanced position to imbalance, it is a zulm. So now we have a zulm in the form of, this government system all over the world. The immunity has been dislocated from the peace to the burning hell of destruction. Capitalism has made the imbalance of the entire system of the world. Political system, all this pharmaceutical system, banking, insurance, they have dislocated the natural balance system of economy from the pivotal position to the imbalanced position. And everybody is in khawf now, and fear. and no depression and exploitation in that society. So this will happen if you make the proper system, balanced system, everything is on its proper place, then there will be no depression and exploitation in the society, because if the economy is going under the balance law, nothing will happen. Everybody will be prosperous. So this democracy, which is the combination of capitalism and religion, it has destroyed the peace of the earth planet. In 2025, some observers expressed concern that Nobel Prize might be considered for Donald Trump, despite widespread criticism and accusation regarding his role in corruption scandal and his partnership in Gaza genocide and violence against the innocent people of Palestine along the Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu. So America is the main player for this genocide, providing political support in UNO, providing weapons, and giving the shelter Israel from the outside attack. So main culprit in Gaza genocide is American democracy. Surprisingly, the Nobel Prize has been awarded to a far-right extremist named Maria Corina Machado. It was surprising. From Venezuela. She has been accused of committing serious crime against the poor people of Venezuela as well as against the people of the Palestine. So this was her action of peace, or she contributed for peace. She destroyed the life of Venezuela people, and she was supporting Israel against the genocide. She was awarded the Nobel Prize for the following criminal services to USA and Israeli governments. So I have given these 4 or 5 her crimes, in reward of which the Nobel Committee has given her a Nobel Prize. She has been funded from decades by USA and Israel government because she openly asked USA and Israel government to attack Venezuela and overthrow its present government. So this is one, her contribution for the peace. And today I saw the news early in the morning. The USA attacked on Venezuela boat, and USA claimed that they were, trafficking the drug. They started it. She supports economic sanctions against Venezuela that have killed tens of thousands of Venezuelans. At least 500,000 people were died because of this economic sanction. She openly supported Israel genocide in Gaza. Then Maria Corina Machado is openly called Donald Trump invade Venezuela and overthrow the present government because she is the opposition leader of Venezuela. Right? Number 5, she supported Israel in attacking Iran. Surprisingly, Maria Carolina Machado was awarded the Nobel Prize after an intensive lobbying campaign by several members of the United States Congress. Among the signatories supporting her nomination were Marco Rubio, the present Defense Secretary, Mike Waltz, the previous National Security Advisor, and other congressional members including Rick Scott, Maria Dazo Ballard, Maria Elvar Slasser, and seven others. So this is a Nobel Prize. They lobbied Maria for awarding the Nobel Prize to her. Look where we are living. And this is American democracy. The Venezuela government accused Machado of action as a CIA agent. She was. After a failed violent coup against attempt, she and her allies sought to remove President Hugo Chavez through a national referendum. However, in 2004, they were defeated when most Venezuelans voted in strong support of Chavez, who renamed widely popular among the people. However, a courageous and freedom-loving member of the Northern Parliament, Baron Maxence, from the left-wing party, publicly criticized the Norwegian Nobel Committee. In a Facebook post, he condemned the committee for betraying the original purpose of Peace Prize by aligning with USA geopolitical interest. One person, this Maxence, he spoke. He's an honest person. He's a peacemaker. And let me give you what Quran says about these people who support the real peace. The Quran presents from history an archetype of freedom, loving, and courageous individual who stood for truth and justice amidst tyranny, a figure comparable in moral courage to the contemporary Norwegian parliamentarian Maxence. So he was a peace lover. He wants to place the thing on its proper place. The Quranic figure is identical. This Quranic figure is identical as a original moment. The Quran called the term original moment. Mokshan is a original moment. The peace-loving person. The Quran brought this person. Quran does not give any name, particular name. Just original moment. Any person can be peacemaker. And he was the member of the Royal Furrow Court or a member of Royal Congress of the Furrow. You know the Furrow destiny was a collection of capitalism, religion, and dynasty. Described as a leader or a messenger of peace who emerged from within the Royal Congress of Furrow, he courageously supported Moses and his companion Harun in their struggle to establish peace, equity, and social justice against the barbaric dynastic system of Europe. So this person, when Moses and Aaron were making their speeches in the Congress of the Pharaoh, Royal Congress of the Pharaoh, so this person supported them. Like, some Congress member, they, they spoke courageously against Israel and American policy, what they are doing in the Palestine. So he supported them. And the Quran put one verse, the name of one surah, Al-Mu'min, in his name. Just as Badrano Maksan spoke out fearlessly against the injustice of modern imperial system, so did this noble man from Pharaoh court raise his voice within an oppressive power structure, aligning himself with the universal Quranic principle of haq, truth, and peace against zulm, injustice, all kind of injustice, and tyranny. So this person spoke in the royal court of Pharaoh. Even he was a member of the Pharaoh Royal Congress to support Moses and Harun. And his speech, the Quran gave his speech in verse 40-28. وَقَالَ رَجُلُ الْمُؤْمِنُ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ يَكْتُمْ أَيْمَنَهُ أَتَّقْتُلُوا رَجُلٌ أَنْ يَقُولُوا رَبِّ اللَّهُ وَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ وَأَنْ يُكَ كَذَّبًا فَعَلِيَ كَذَّبَهُ وَإِنْ يُوكَ صَدَقًا يُصِبْكُمْ بَعْدَ الَّذِي يَعِدُكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي مِنْ هُوَ مُصَرِّفُ الْكَاذِبِينَ. What he made the speech in the Pharaoh Royal Parliament, Quran gives this, as evidence from the history of the mankind, and said a peace activist leader from the Congress or cabinet of the Pharaoh party, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ. آل Fir'aun means not the offspring of Al Fir'aun, no, the party of the Fir'aun. Look, now we have Al Saud, we have dynasty in England. They are still controlling Australia, Commonwealth countries. Who was internally secretly supporting the peace mission. Yaktum Aymainahu. He was with Moses and Harun because he was satisfied what they are doing. And he said to them, will you insult a leader because he says, he addressed the Pharaoh and the Pharaoh cabinet and asked them, will you insult a leader because he says, my cherisher is Allah. Allah means that person who makes the laws based on justice without worshipping of God. The one who is laws giver and one does not involve in worshipping. This is the meaning of Allah. The Quranic head of state, he was not worshipping Allah. أَتَّقْتَلُونَ رَجُلٌ أَنْ يَكُونُوا رَبِّ اللَّهُ. You will insult that person who is saying that this is we should put nourishment laws, sustainer laws. Indeed, he has come to you with clear proofs, and he is giving you clear proofs in the sport of his struggle. Your church, وَقَدْ جَاكُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. From his cherisher, from the foster of the economic foundation, he brought the evidence that your system is wrong. Look, Saudi Arabia, dynasty, England dynasty, UAE dynasty, or any other dynasty. This is based on the injustice system. Cherisher, sustainer of the Qur'anic foundation. And and if he lies, then it is upon him. If you are saying that he is lying, okay, it is his job. He is responsible for this. And if he is truthful, then it will fall on you something which is a threat to you. And if he is right, then these people will make the revolution, bring the revolution. If he is right, the people are struggling against the dynasty system and there with Fiora and Harun. If he is right, then there will be revolution. وَإِنْ أَنْ صادقا يسبكم بعض الذي بعضكم يعدكم. Indeed, Allah does not guide the one who is arrogant and lie. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي مِنْ هُوَ مَصَرِّفُ الْكَذَابِ. So he said that if you don't use your conscience, if you remain arrogant and lie, then how he can guide you? How you can do this justice system? So this is the speech similar to the member of Sweden parliament person. Maxons pointed out that the United States continues to violate international law through military aggression. Almost 800 military bases all over the world. This is a democracy. And then economic sanction, then UNO, then human rights people, then weapon making companies, mafia, then bank, then insurance. They are supporting this democracy. So military aggression, including attacks on civilian vessels of the coast Venezuela. He pointed out that there were the civilian people. Today, again USA attacked a vessel near the Venezuela coast. He warned that it's a bad idea to give the peace prize to Venezuelan politician with close ties to Donald Trump, a man who has openly called for war with Venezuela and exploitation of its oil sources. So this is the reason why Nobel Committee give the Nobel Prize to this Maria because of to exploit their national resources, oil and gold. This is the reason. He further revealed that the so-called Peace Prize recipient had personally signed a cooperation agreement with Israel Likud Party, the National Party. She is supporting that barbaric party. The same political force responsible for orchestrating the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Maxon concluded that this award is not in the line with Alfred Nobel's will. He criticized it. So this is the, Quranic. She spoke in accordance to the Quranic laws. His words cut through the fog of deception. The latest Nobel Peace Prize laureate openly supported USA military intervention in our own country. The revolution exposes once again the deep corruption and political manipulation at the heart of the Nobel Prize Committee. They did it. And they are controlled by CIA. It is a true shocking to see an institution that claims to champion peace continually reward individuals tied to war crimes, coup attempts, and genocide, all under the shadow of US influence and financial power. So this example proves that Nobel Prize Committee is a corrupt, it's a mafia, and this committee is giving the Nobel Prize to the warmongers, right? Criminal people, and those people who are doing the genocide in the Israel, in the Palestine, Gaza, and they are working for USA influential democracy. The Nobel Peace Prize once eminent or as a beacon of hope has now become a tool of propaganda, a weapon in the hands of those who exploit human suffering under the disguise of freedom and democracy. So everything they are doing for democracy and freedom and peace. So this peace prize was given to Maria because of her contribution for freedom and democracy and peace. And you know what she did. The Quran exposes the hypocrisy of worldly institutions that claim to uphold peace while spreading injustice and destruction. The Nobel Peace Prize, once a symbol of repentance and hope, has become a political tool, rewarding warlords, manipulators, and agents of oppression under the banner of peace. The Quran explains this reality in verse 2:8. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمِنْ هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Look, the Quran gives a universal thing. And from the people or the peace-loving people who claim that we are a peacemaker, close their mind, give you lip service and expresses that they subscribed or made a pledge with peace. So they are giving you their commandment that they pledge with peaceful. They will remain in peace. They will work for peace. Allah's laws and as well as for tomorrow's security. So they are saying, we are making our nation future good, bright. They claim, all the leaders, especially in Muslim, they are in the worst kind of degradation and they're saying, well, we are for peace. وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرَةِ also for future. In reality, they are not peace activists. وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. They are not peace activists. They are giving you, lip service. True peace is not declared in a solo or Stockholm. It is cultivated in the thinking or consciousness of every awakened human being. So this you can, if the people on this planet start thinking, they avoid themselves from religion, from democracy, from capitalism, and work for the Qur'anic social system, economic system, then it will be peace. We have to cultivate it. It emerges when truth conquers, deceit, when the honest people conquer the dishonest people. Otherwise, there will be no peace. When justice replaces exploitation, you know what happened in Gaza, you know what happened in Vietnam, you know what happened in Afghanistan, you know what happened in Iraq, you know what happened in Libya. This is justice. And these people are the member of the Nobel Peace Committee. And when the human conscious aligns with Qur'anic principle order, they are mentally sick. The Quran explains the present all the leadership, Islamic and non-Islamic, except few people, they are mentally sick. And this sickness increased by the passage of time or because of their falsehood. Look, if you go back in the history of mankind, there was a peace slowly, and now we have worse condition now. Everywhere we are seeing that third world war is coming because of Gaza, because of Ukraine, and because of other problems. So Quran says these people who are saying that we are working for peace, in fact they are not working for peace. What they في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. In their mind, intensive sickness. It's not a physical sickness. If you check their speeches, the president, the prime minister, whether from Europe, whether from America, whether from Asia, whether from Islamic country, they are all sick. Quran says they are all sick. And this sickness has been increased with the passage of time. Instead of coming to the right path, they carry on. In accordance with Allah. And for them, agreeable, sweet, intense pain of suffering. Quran does not say anything that you will be punished, you will be thrown to hell. Quran saying their mental condition, they knows they are criminal. Bush knows that he killed so many people in Iraq. Netanyahu knows that he killed in Gaza, children, women. But their conscience, they covered their conscience with the darkness, with the sickness. And this Quran says, agreeable, sweet, intense pain of suffering. When they killed in Gaza people, they know and then they feel sweetness, but intense pain of suffering. They know that we did the wrong thing. This is the meaning of azab. On account of their falsehood. But if you kill your conscience, you will not think anything. You become barbaric. And this situation of human, Quran says, is worse than animal. Now they are all worse than animal. At least animal follow instinct, their instinct. But we have the freedom. We have two choices. Either we make a peace or we create disorder, and we are doing that. The Quran calls humanity to this higher peace, a peace that is not negotiated through power, but achieved through truth, morality, and balance. Morality does not mean that you pray, you go to church or go to mosque. Morality means, according to the Quran, when you think with reason, with wisdom. This is a morality. This is a balance of the human personality. And where there is a religion, Look in India and Pakistan, they are fighting to each other. They are not moral people, they are immoral people. Look, in Saudi Arabia, the dynasty is immoral. All their Imam of Kaaba or Medina, they are all immoral except few who spoke against the dynasty, this King Abdul Aziz dynasty, and they put him behind the bar. Only those who live in harmony with these internal laws of justice, all these laws in this cosmos, they are balanced. Gravitational law, buoyancy law, they are balanced. So you should follow them. Similarly, the Quran has given the economic balance law, the social balance law, the government, the right forming government balance law. So they are the peace people, but they deceived lawgivers, laws, and as well as they deceived themselves for their consciousness. So the Quran is saying in this 2:9, they are not deceiving the laws, immutable laws of our lawgiver, supreme lawgiver, but they are deceiving themselves. Ask to the cyclist, what is the meaning of this verse? يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يُخَادِعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُم مَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They deceive Allah's laws, our supreme, intelligent, neutral, immutable laws giver. This our lawgiver who made these laws in which we are living, even the planet laws, this rotation of the earth, it is for our balance, for the life. And these laws are neutral. It is up to you. You misuse them or you use them for peaceful purpose. And as well as those who are active for peace. So they don't deceive even supreme lawgiver, they also deceive those people who are working for peace. But if they reflect, they are not deceiving. They say, we are not deceiving, except they are not deceiving Allah's laws or the people who are struggling for peace, but accept themselves or conscious, their conscious. Choice thinking gift, free thinking, discerning faculty, but they do not perceive or realize or have awareness. Do you think Henry Kissinger has a perception that he killed so many people? Do you think Obama has a perception that he killed many people, 500,000 people in Middle East? Do you think what military in Pakistan is doing? They don't have shaur, awareness. Do you think what Saudi Arabia is doing is good against the Gaza people? So this is shaur, awareness they don't have because they are hungry for power, they are barbaric. The Nobel Prize, peace meant to celebrate peace, but it has become an instrument of war, corruption and deception. So now let me explain the Maria who received the 2025 Nobel Prize. Actually, she is working with CIA, with Israel from a long time. And the most important thing, this prize, Peace Prize, was given to her on the recommendation of a Congress member and as well as a banker in New York and in London. They are the main troublemaker on this planet. So these bankers, they want to control or to want to monopolize the oil, billions of dollars of oil. Venezuela is the richest country in the oil and gold. So they want to control that. That is why they brought or they forced the Nobel Prize Committee to give her Nobel Prize, Peace Prize. Said she is working for peace. So this is the real reason why she was awarded Nobel Prize. The bankers, they want to control their resources. These resources belong to the poor people of Venezuela. So this is the reason she was given. Now you can make decision whether what the Nobel Prize Committee is doing. Same thing they are doing in other chemistry, physics. There is also politician. So in the next lecture, I will discuss. They have given the Nobel Peace Prize to Israeli ministers because of their effort of peace. Then Obama because he killed a lot of people in Middle East. Then Henry Kissinger. Then Dalai Lama. So in the next lecture, I will give you the details of these people who were awarded the Nobel Prize because of their contribution, not for peace, but for destroying the peace. They are warmongers, they are criminal, they are exploiters, they are working for banks, they are working for insurance company, they are working for the capitalist mafia. Thank you very much.